Welcome to the Dawn Osborne Show, Limitless Life. The big question women like you and I ask is, how do we do that? How do we have a growth mindset? How do we increase our emotional intelligence? How do we do life, business and marketing, and yet still remain balanced in the rhythm of our life and our family? Those are the questions that this podcast will answer. My name is Dawn Osborne, and welcome to my Limitless Life podcast. Hey everybody, and welcome to my Finding Fearless podcast. Today we're going to be talking about free your mind, and we're going to be looking at where you are stuck, which area of your life that you are stuck, and I'm going to provide you with 3 keys at the end of this podcast that's going to help you overcome and get through the areas that you're stuck. So I like to talk about the 7 pillars of a woman's life, and those 7 pillars are your freedom in your mindset, spiritually, emotionally, family and spouse, finances, money and business, your faith, your fitness, your fun, and your friends. So the area that I want to focus in on is freeing your mind from any limiting beliefs that are keeping you stuck. You see, when we can't move forward into the fullness of our purpose or the fullness of where we want to go, the vision, it's because we're stuck somewhere, and attached to that being stuck is a fear of, I'm not moving forward because I'm in fear of ... And that's different in all sorts of life situations. So what we must first do is start to free our mind from any limiting beliefs, anything that's holding us back. And it's usually connected to the way that we think about things and the way that we see things. And so in order to move ahead, we've got to change. Something's got to change on the inside of it. We've got to change the way that we see things. We've got to change the voice, the inner critic. We've got to change what we believe. We've got to change what we value. And so we change the truth, the current truth that we're believing. So let me give you an example. So, there was a period of my life where I had to really focus in on my finances, and where focus goes, energy flows. And so I knew that was an area that I was stuck. I knew that there were areas that was some fear attached to it. And so it's like I had to take the big shining light and shine on the darkness of those areas, the areas that I wasn't looking at, the areas that I was avoiding, the areas that were hidden, and hone in on it and find out what was going wrong, what was the problem, so that then I could formulate a solution to get me out of where I was stuck. And so with my, with my 7 pillars, I did a focus wheel, and I had a look at all the areas of my life where I felt that I was doing really well at. But one of the areas which was lacking the most for me was the areas of finances. And I thought, okay, I need to figure out what is going on. And everything starts with how you think about something, because out of your thinking flows feelings, out of your feelings flows actions and behaviors. And so I had to spend a bit of time going through my finances. What am I avoiding? What am I resisting in the area of finances? And for me, it was even looking at it, the thought of doing a profit and loss, the thought of doing a budget. Honestly, I just was like, oh, I hate it. But in order for me to have a full and balanced life in all areas, one area is wobbly, one area is not working properly, there's no flow in that area. It's because there's something wrong, something is stuck, you're stuck somewhere, and you need to have a look at it in order to get to that next step. So when I started peeling back the layers of my, what I thought about finances, what was happening to me was I was avoiding doing budget sheets. I was avoiding, organizing my finances because there was a fear there. And, I'm not going to go into the full story. I just want to kind of give you an example. Was one of my fears was that I was actually afraid of gain. Now that sounds absolutely ridiculous. Okay. Who would be fearful of gaining finances? But there was when I dug a little bit further, I actually dug into the fact that there was a fear of gain But what it was I actually had a limiting belief around that said to me, if I make money, I will only lose it. Therefore, there's no point making money because I will only lose it. Now, that was that belief around that, around my finances, was absolutely keeping me stuck. It was keeping me paralyzed. It was keeping me, I was never going to grow. I was never going to enter that next level of financial income because that belief was keeping me held. I was oppressed by that belief. I was held hostage by that belief. And so what I had to do was I actually had to change that belief system. How did I do that? I'm going to tell you next. So in my course, Finding Fearless for Life and Love, I talk about transforming from an old mindset into a new mindset, okay? Coming out of old thinking into new thinking. And I actually identify this as a victory mindset and a victory mindset. So a victim mindset was saying to me, if I made money, then I would lose it. That is a victim mindset. It is a limiting belief, and it's not growth. There is no growth there. I will never grow because I believe if I make money, I will lose it. All right. And so what I had to do was I had to step into a victory mindset. And so I had to create new beliefs. I had to create a new language that I was saying to myself. So my new belief, or my new language around that was, when I make money, it multiplies. And there's a few things you have to do in order to actually feel that on the inside. That could be just a set of words that you say, but if you don't feel it on the inside, which is about faith and belief, it's not going to happen. It will only just stay a piece of words. So I had to get some real grunt on the inside, and I had to say it over and over and over to myself in order for me to believe it. So the three things I want to share with you on this podcast today is we need to shift you out of the old and into the new. How do we do that? All right, there's three things that I want to give you today. There's a lot more I can give you, but we'll start with the first three things. So if I was to take my example of finances, first of all, I kind of got to get a vision. I've got to get a vision of what that looks like. I've got to get comfortable with making money, because at the moment, when you've got that limiting bit, you're not comfortable with making money. You don't see yourself making money. All you do is you see yourself losing the money. So I had to change that. So number one is, how do you see yourself in relation to the area of your life where you're stuck? Now, I've used finances. For you, it could be one of the other 7 pillars. It could be one of the other F's. Okay. So for me, finances, am I comfortable with money? Does it sit right with me to make money? Do I think that making money and having wealth is comfortable? So first of all is, how do you see yourself when you think about money? Number two is, how do you feel? How does having money make you feel? Do you feel safe with it, or do you reject it? Okay, and the third thing that you need to be aware of is here. What is the inner voice saying to you? Your inner voice will identify whether you have a victory mindset or a victim mindset. And in my case, when I unpacked, there's a problem with my finances, I unpacked it, I dug and I dug and I dug till I found out, actually, I'm not comfortable with money. Money makes me feel uncomfortable because I had a belief in it that if I made it, I would lose it. And that would be the voice that would be echoing inside my mind. Now, I had to change all of those things. First of all, I had to see myself making money. I had to feel comfortable making money. And I had to hear a new voice which said, when I make money, it multiplies. And every time I could feel that old belief, that old thing coming to me, I would go, no, when I make money, it multiplies. Okay. And so for you, that's kind of a snippet of what you need to do in your own world. Now, if you're identifying a few areas of your life that are not working right now, or you feel stuck, or that you're operating from a victim mindset, hey, It's okay. That's what we're here for. And part of one of the programs that I roll out is to help you overcome all fears in your life, so you can live your life to the fullest. You can live you can be everything that your God-given purpose has called you to be. You can be comfortable with who you are as a woman. We unpack family issues, finance issues, faith issues. If it's health and fitness, you've lost your joy, you're no longer having fun and adventure, or you've got the wrong friends around you. It doesn't matter which area of your life. We will walk with you and we will help you unpack and find all the areas that is limiting your life right now. So anyway, thanks for joining me on Finding Fearless. I'll be around next week for another session on Finding Fearless. See ya.